Hey Kindred Oilers, this is Paula Vandervoort, natural rearing dog breeder and lover of all things natural. Today I'm going to be teaching you a class called Chemical Free Pet. Now that's a bit of a misnomer because, chemicals are everywhere, and some chemicals, everything's made out of chemistry. But some chemicals are, important to life, and some are harmful. So I'm going to teach you how to locate and actually create an environment that's free of harmful chemicals for your pets. I'm a member of the Veterinary Medical Aromatherapy Association. I'm not a veterinarian, but it's an organization of seasoned veterinarians who've been using essential oils in medical practice for over 2 decades. They teach and then they provide credentials to people and to veterinarians about the safe and effective use of essential oils in medical practice. So I belong to their organization and have been to their training. I'm also a natural rearing dog breeder. I've been breeding show, performance, service, and companion dogs for over 45 years. And in the last 10 years, I've been accredited as the only Natural Rearing Breeders Association boxer breeder in the world. I'm focused on improving vitality and longevity in my own breeding program and trying to recruit other breeders into this program as well. And so if any of you are dog breeders, would be interested in helping you. Recently, the UK Kennel Club, which is the British version of the American Kennel Club, or AKC, released a report called the Pedigree Breed Health Survey, which provides a bit of insight for curious owners of purebred dogs. And in a 2004 Kennel Club report, the average lifespan of purebred dogs surveyed by the United Kennel Club was 11 years and 3 months of age. 10 years later, only 10 years, in 2014, one of the largest surveys of its kind to date was conducted. It was sent to 385,000 owners of 215 different breeds, and responses were received from owners of 191 breeds, representing over 43,000 living dogs and over 5,600 deceased dogs. The 2014 survey also found, tragically, that the average lifespan of a purebred dog in the UK had gone down to 10 years, from 11.3 to 10 years. This means that the median longevity of Britain's purebred dogs has dropped by 11% in just 1 decade. The breeds showing the biggest decreases in lifespan were Bull Terriers at a whopping loss of 3 years, Doberman Pinschers, and Beagles. My own breed of boxers experienced a loss of over a full year of longevity and is now down to an average lifespan, according to this survey, of 9. Now, there are mixed and designer breeds. Are they healthier? Not really, according to what many veterinarians see in their practices, and not according to a 5-year study of veterinary cases at the University of California, UC Davis. Their research indicates that mixed breeds don't automatically have an advantage when it comes to genetic disorders. The hope that crossing breeds or getting mutts from rescues will result in a more vigorous and vital pet, it's really not panned out. The UC Davis researchers looked at the records of over 90,000 purebreds and mixed breed dogs that have been patients at the university's veterinary medical teaching hospital between 1995 and 2010, and found that many of the common ailments that are responsible for the loss of vitality and lowering lifespan are the same across both purebreds and mutts. So what's the common thread in this lowered lifespan trend that we're experiencing with our beloved pets? I've been a hobby breeder for over 4 decades, and it's clear to me as an observer that our pets are less healthy and don't live as long as they did when I started. Research aside, I just know this to be true. We now have so many more harmful chemicals available that really didn't even exist when I started breeding. We simply did not have as many poisons that we could put in and on our pets as we do now. And those may seem like they are wonderful scientific advances, but a lot of them are poisons. And some cleaners are among the most toxic products found in the home. In 2000, cleaning products were responsible for nearly 10% of all toxic exposures that were reported to the U.S. Poison Control Centers. And with some, all you have to do is touch them to become poisoned. Our pets are walking on floors cleaned by these products. They're petted by hands that have been washed with harmful soaps. And they inhale our personal care products that contain chemicals that are known to cause a variety of damage to various body systems. Many people are just simply unaware of the seriousness of the health-damaging effects from the use of toxic, chemical-based household cleaning products, from air fresheners and scented candles. I mean, I used to use all those. I was ignorant of the invisible dangers, and personal care products like cosmetics and soaps, lotions, shampoos, deodorants, and perfumes can be culprits. And my intention here is really to kind of frighten you as you begin to understand how deadly some of these toxic chemical-based products are. But my other intention is to teach you how to make sure that your pets and children are as healthy as possible. I want you to know that there's a healthy, natural alternative to every product out there that's available. A seemingly little known fact is this: the main cause of most disease, including cancer, is toxin overload. And I've been learning a lot about this in my studies as an animal naturopath. And in the last 100 years, there have been over 70,000 new chemicals introduced into the world. Some of these compounds are a product of chemical warfare, research, and development. And many of these chemicals have been introduced into items we regularly purchase at our local grocery store. These chemicals are products that are used to clean clothes, floors, ovens, bathrooms, and in pet and human shampoos and other products used in the home and yard. And as I've been watching the lifespan of our dogs go down and chronic illness seems to be at an all-time high, I wonder if it could be that the explosion of cancer and other diseases in our companion animals, with things that were really only once known to humans working with toxins like diabetes and things like that, are due to mankind's creation and introduction of these chemicals. As toxins accumulate in the body's organs and cells, a process called bioaccumulation occurs. So every exposure adds to the previous one, and the body becomes unable to detoxify itself through the detoxification organs like the liver, skin, bowels, kidneys. Those harmful toxins build up. The body's constitution gets weakened, and it effectively puts the entire body, mind, and spirit out of balance or harmony. Toxin overload leaves your animals vulnerable to an array of different disease symptoms, including things like irritable bowel disease, kidney failure, diabetes, cancer. That's just to name a few. You can do yourself and your pets and little ones a huge favor by checking labels. Learn about the dangerous ingredients that are in most personal care products. Cosmetics, lotions, toothpaste, showers, bath soaps, and hair products are loaded with harmful ingredients. Keep in mind that what goes on you can be transferred to your pet. Don't think that because you wash your hair and soap up and then rinse off in the shower that it doesn't, because whatever is on your skin, your hair, and so forth, and their fur is absorbed into the body. I like to teach this class and give people a card to carry while they're shopping to help them quickly read labels for toxins, but here are a few to remember. Sodium lauryl sulfate, also known as SLS, and sodium laureth sulfate. Those are foaming agents that can be contaminated with 1,4-dioxane. Those are potential carcinogens. Another one is called a paraben. Parabens mimic the role of estrogen in the body, and they are linked to breast cancer and breast formation in young boys. Another one is artificial fragrances. I always look for that on labels. Artificial fragrances can contain just about anything that smells good and is made in a lab. They can trigger allergies and asthma. And another one to look for is 1,4-dioxane. It's listed as a potential carcinogen. It's contained in many chemical compounds and care products. Another one is oxybenzone. It's a sunscreen ingredient that's associated with photoallergic reactions. That particular chemical absorbs through the skin in significant amounts, so you'd think that something you put on your skin to protect your skin would be good for your skin, but you can also get cancer from it. It contaminates the bodies of 97% of Americans, according to the research by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, another one is sodium hydroxide. It's good old soap lye. It's very caustic, and it was historically used in the formulation of soaps, but it's currently seen in a variety of formulas, including bath products, cleansing products, fragrances, foot powder, hair dyes and colors, makeup, nail products, personal cleanliness products, shampoos, shaving products, depilatories, skincare products, and suntan products, as well as chemical hair straightening and hair wave sets. It's also a popular ingredient in industrial solvents as a chemical base for soaps, for oven cleaners, detergents, and drain cleaners because of its ability to dissolve grease. So less frequency, sodium hydroxide is seen as an ingredient in toothpaste even. And evidence of skin irritation and allergies and damage, damage to vision, respiratory effects, cause it to be rated F by the Environmental Working Group. Another thing to look for in your products is phthalates, and that's spelled P-H-T-H-L-A-T-E-E-S. They're linked to birth defects in boys, to lower sperm motility in adults, and testicular atrophy or structural abnormality in liver cancer. We're seeing so many issues with fertility in our breeding dogs, and this just may be a big part of it. I've certainly experienced it myself. Phthalates are endocrine disrupting plasticizer chemicals, and they're everywhere in modern society. Environmental Working Group helped get several of them banned in children's toys, but they're still widely available used chemicals in personal care products and foods that pollute almost everyone's environment and bodies. Let's learn some more about reading labels, because you got to really look at these small labels. They're in tiny print, and I have to take my glasses with me to make sure that I'm looking at labels when I think about buying something. So I'm going to give you some more to think about. Aluminum is on this list. It's linked to cancer and dementia. Parabens, BHA, BHT, and siloxanes. Those are all endocrine disruptors. They toxify the reproductive systems of people and animals, and they're strongly linked to endocrine and breast cancers. 99% of breast cancer tissue samples contain parabens. Did you know that? Another very dangerous chemical is called propylene glycol. It's one of my real hit list chemicals, since it's often used to adulterate essential oils that people believe are helpful to them. They are known neurotoxins that can cause dermatitis, kidney and liver damage, gastrointestinal irritation, nausea, headache, vomiting, and central nervous system depression. Another one that I watch for is triclosans. Triclosans are found in a lot of soaps, and they're known to irritate skin. They encourage bacterial resistance, which is what creates superbugs like MRSA. And they may disrupt thyroid function and the body's hormone system. Another one is FD&C colors. Many of them are made from coal tar derivatives, and they may contain heavy metals known to be carcinogenic. Another one is talc. Now, talc has been debated a lot, but it's classified as a carcinogen, and it may contain asbestos fibers sometimes. There are lawsuits pending, and research does not clearly show a cause and effect between talc and cancer, but I tend to err on the side of being conservative with my pets, so I use products that don't contain talc. Then we get to fluoride. Fluoride in your toothpaste. Fluoride can cause skeletal fluorosis. Now, in very, very small amounts, it's probably safe, but it can also cause arthritic symptoms, bone fracture, and damage to brain and thyroid health. And you know, really, when you look at a tube of toothpaste and it says if you swallow it to call poison control, you've got to really think about what's in that. You're putting it in your mouth and then your mucous membranes are absorbing it. So DEA is another one. DEA is used to make cosmetics creamy or sudsy. It can cause mild to moderate skin and eye irritation. So that's one to avoid. And then there's petrolatum, or things that are just obviously from petroleum products, but petrolatum is found in Vaseline type products and lip products. It can be contaminated with polycyclic or aromatic hydrocarbons, which can cause cancer. Most cleaning products contain hazardous solvents that can be absorbed through the skin. This absorption occurs every time a cleaning product touches your pet's feet, skin, fur, or feathers. Bedding is often washed with highly toxic detergent and then dried with a scented dryer sheet that's embedded with chemical-based synthetic fragrances and cationic anti-static agents that are very dangerous to pets. Dryer sheets are something we really need to talk about because dryer sheets most of them contain cationic agents. That is, they're surfactants that have a positive ionic charge that's meant to neutralize static. Well, that sounds great. And you might even read online tips about reducing static electricity in your pet's fur by rubbing your pet with laundry dryer sheets. I've actually seen that online. However, the Merck Veterinary Manual specifically advises against exposing your pet to cationic detergents, stating that, quote, cationic detergents are locally corrosive agents causing dermal, ocular, and mucosal injury similar to that of alkaline corrosive agents. Additionally, exposure to cationic detergents may result in systemic effects ranging from central nervous system depression to pulmonary edema, unquote. The danger of cationic detergents is greater for cats because of the risk of ingestion during self-grooming. I just simply don't use them. If an animal picks one of these up off the floor, they're in trouble. Most people think that ingestion of toxins is the most common way that toxins are absorbed, but inhalation or absorption through the skin is actually much more common than them eating something that's bad for them. When something harmful is swallowed, the stomach begins breaking it down and neutralizing the poison before it's absorbed into the bloodstream. But when a toxic fume is inhaled or when they come into contact with the skin, the poisons go directly into the bloodstream and they travel to the brain, heart, liver, and kidneys. So for example, when your pet walks or lays on floors that have been cleaned with chemically based cleaners, the toxins are absorbed through their paws and skin into their bloodstream without going through a breakdown process. Most exposures occur from outgassing, which is the process of vapors being released into the air. Outgassing occurs even when a chemical is tightly sealed in its container. I'm sure you've noticed this when you are walking down the cleaning aisle of the grocery. I can't even walk down that aisle without getting a headache. The strong smells from laundry detergents and other cleaning products can be overpowering. And imagine how they affect a dog whose olfactory bulb is 3 times larger than a human's and has over 4 times as many receptors for those toxins. They don't just smell them, they absorb them. And when we store these products in our home, we're exposing our families and our pets to toxins simply via outgassing. Let's talk about what happens with toxins and the way that they build up. There are several ways that toxins build up in the body. There's toxic buildup in the colons of dogs fed processed foods and supplements that are made from synthetic ingredients. These ingredients, such as synthetic vitamin C, for example, disrupt nutrient absorption. So in order to know whether or not a supplement has synthetics in it, just look for the items on the label. If they're listed as plant ingredients, they're not synthetic. If they're listed as vitamin C, they're synthetic, for example. Cellular toxicity can happen when toxins are shunted into cells, and they're not able to release the toxins due to excess acidity in the blood. So over time, the body's filtering and eliminative organs become clogged, and they can no longer handle any more toxins. The toxins that can no longer be filtered by the eliminative organs are left circulating through the bloodstream and thus the entire body. So if those filtering systems, the liver, the kidney, the lymph glands, and so forth, are clogged with toxins, then they travel directly into body tissues, forcing the immune system to attempt to eliminate them in any way it can. This creates a constant stress on the immune system and a further load on the body's detoxification systems. Once these toxins are in the blood system, in the bloodstream, the body begins to lose nutrition, and the blood is unable to feed the body good, wholesome nutrients. And it is indeed feeding the body with even more contaminants. So ultimately, they're causing serious chronic health issues. When the eliminative organs are clogged, the result is itchy skin, rashes, yeast overgrowth, intestinal upsets, ear infections, diarrhea, and other symptoms. Conventional vets use medications to mask these symptoms, and often antibiotics and steroids are the first line of, kind of just in case prescriptions, even when the vet is not totally sure what the cause of the imbalance is. So pharmaceuticals, they can appear to work like magic because they suppress and mask the symptoms, which is really just the body asking for help. Instead of helping it, we tell it to shut up and be quiet. Eventually, when the prescriptions run out, the symptoms usually return, but in higher intensity. And we've seen that happen in our own dogs in the past. This leaves the case of the disease unaddressed, and chronic disease sets in. We often see these as heart disease, renal failure, diabetes, arthritis, cancer, and many others. These are all the results of the environment, nutrition, and conventional health care that we provide to our pets with the best of our intentions. And over the past several decades, research and experience have shown that these chronic illnesses are preventable in large part if we learn to follow the principles of natural health in rearing. Antibiotics and steroids are all potent toxins that can totally destroy the immune system. As the most prescribed medications in the veterinary industry, antibiotics destroy all bacteria. Our bodies are made up of 80% of symbiotic bacteria. We need bacteria for life. We would not be alive if we didn't have bacteria in our bodies. These life-giving bacteria are destroyed along with the pathogens, and they disrupt the delicate balance that our immune system requires. With 70 to 80% of our immune system contained in the gut, this is a huge problem, and one round of antibiotics can literally take years of recovery before the proper balance of life-giving bacteria to pathogenic bacteria is actually resumed. Another is canned and processed foods. They contain antibiotics and preservatives, most of which have a detrimental effect inside the intestinal tract. And the use of many antibiotics disrupt vitamin metabolism and have been documented to be oxotoxins that can cause dizziness, vertigo, tinnitus, or hearing loss and vision impairment. Let me jump forward and tell you that steroids are artificially mimicking the action of the adrenal glands. They work against the immune system's natural actions. They stop the body from expressing a normal response, and they've been known to stop the pituitary glands from producing hormones, slowing down eventually until they stop working and the adrenals fail. And last is the ever controversial vaccines. Vaccines contain many ingredients that can adversely affect your pet's health, including aluminum, formaldehyde, thimerosal, which is a mercury salt, impure contaminants from production in foreign animal proteins that set up antibodies to things like chicken and beef. The main areas of concern for pets and little ones are in the products that are listed. These are mainly found under sinks and in garages, so start your search in those places first. Learn to read labels through your local Young Living classes, through the Environmental Working Group, or use the phone app called Think Dirty to check the barcodes of products that you have or are considering buying. Talk with your healthcare professional about the risks versus the benefits of vaccinating. Don't just accept every vaccine as necessary and without risk. If your pet's been vaccinated once after the age of 16 weeks, or has been through natural rearing immunity protocols to develop immunity on their own, ask your veterinarian to run titers instead of repeating unnecessary vaccinations. They very likely have immunity for life already. The very first and most important step in detoxing and building the immune system's strength is to feed a proper species-specific, unprocessed diet to your pet. If your pet is a carnivore, which would be a dog, a cat, or a ferret, she should be consuming raw meat. If your pet is an herbivore, she should be eating whole plants appropriate for the species. In addition, any pet who has ever been exposed to the toxins we discussed, which is everyone, should be receiving infusions of probiotics to repopulate the gut with appropriate species of bacteria. They're available in a lot of places for carnivores. I like to rotate them and use things like Life 9 from Young Living, also Green Tripe, and some other ones that are naturally based. Young Living has a complete line of Thieves cleaning products, which are non-toxic skin and personal care products, non-toxic makeup, and hundreds of species of therapeutic grade essential oils that are available to replace potential toxins in your home. There are about 600 or so products currently available from Young Living for non-toxic living. So it's not just an essential oil company. Things like toxic home syndrome and sick building syndrome are common phrases now, and they're really no joke. We recommend regular diffusing of purification from Young Living rotated with Thieves to detox and purify the air in your home. Since I'm a Young Living independent distributor and professional, I do want to talk about what Young Living has to offer in terms of probiotics. Life 9 is made for humans, but it works very well for animals. It's a proprietary high-potency probiotic that has 17 billion live cultures from 9 beneficial bacteria strains, and it promotes healthy digestion, it supports gut health, and helps maintain normal intestinal function for overall support of a healthy immune system. Young Living also has a whole product line under the Thieves name that is a real big help. You can buy it as a starter kit if you want, or piecemeal, but it will help you to create that chemical-free pet environment. Thieves is a product line that's based on the documentation that Gary Young found while he was traveling in ancient cities. Thieves were robbing bodies during the plague, and yet they were not succumbing to the illness themselves. And once they were captured, they gave up the recipe to protect themselves. And Gary did a lot of research, and he formulated a therapeutic essential oil blend that he named Thieves based on this combination, and this line was born. And it's become wildly popular for cleaning. I use it for my raw diet prep area and cleaning my nursery. It's been added into soaps, mouthwashes, toothpaste, hand sanitizers, laundry soap, dish soap, and even veggie wash. And if you look on the labels for all of these products, there's no warning to go to poison control or call them if you ingest any of them, which is pretty cool. Young Living also has a starter kit that's available to get people started using therapeutic grade essential oils. And it's pet friendly, kid friendly. It has a free diffuser in it. The current starter kit has 13 of the most popular therapeutic grade essential oils, and it allows you to get diffusing right away to start detoxing your home. Purification is an absolute favorite to begin when there are pets in the home, along with thieves and sometimes stress away. The kit includes oils for calming, for focus, discomforts of all kinds, respiratory and congestion supports, digestive upsets, skin and brain support, and help with trauma and injuries. And with pets, these oils go a very long way, since you'll either be diffusing a few drops or diluting with a carrier oil to apply them topically. So while we're talking about using oils on pets and creating that whole chemical-free environment, I want to give you a little bit of advice about dilution rates. With most animals, it's a good idea to dilute the oils. They're very, very potent, and their olfactory systems are very strong, and you don't want to overwhelm them. So the best thing to do is always think dilute, 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 or gradual is better, moderation is wise. For very small animals, I like to put a few drops of a carrier oil, even for real young animals, even as much as 20 drops of carrier oil in my hand with 1 drop of oil, and mix those together and then let the animal smell them. For larger, and then you can pet them with them, and the fur will wick them into the animal skin. For larger animals, you can dilute them less, but my animals are perfectly fine with me using them neat or undiluted, but they know exactly how the oils make them feel. So they can associate that smell with the feeling they got from it. So when I have a bottle of, one of my dog's favorite oils, it's maybe for, some sort of discomfort that they're having. If I get that oil out, they can smell it with the cap still on, and they'll come running and park right in front of me. And it's okay to put them on undiluted on my dogs because they're used to it. But if I'm, starting with a new oil or a blend that's really strong, then I'm going to dilute that down a lot and let them experience it without getting overwhelmed. And then if I need to go less diluted for better effectiveness later on, then I can do that. I want to give you a couple of other ways that you can actually expose your pets to essential oils, and one of them is through what I call passive diffusion. This allows the essential oil to just evaporate from a full concentration directly into the air. It's done by placing a few drops on a cotton ball or on a flat little shallow dish, and you can add natural reeds to the dish if you want. It makes it pretty. Then you can wick the oils up into the air at low potencies. It also applies when an animal's caregiver puts an oil on themselves, and then they just sort of stand within a short distance of the animal. If our body heat is enough for them to experience the aromatics and the therapeutic value of it. So if your animal responds well to oils, they certainly can be held in your arms while you're wearing essential oils on your skin, and you can be the passive diffuser for them. There's a technique that is called the raindrop technique that Gary Young developed and later modified. It was later modified for use on a lot of species of animals. It was originally developed for humans, but it was modified for dogs and horses and even cats. And the methods are very similar to that's done on humans, but they have a little extra dilution to adapt to the body size of the animal. And these methods are endorsed by and taught by the Veterinary Medical Aromatherapy Association and a number of other young living professionals. But it's a technique where you're basically layering on certain types of oils. It's kind of a tune-up for the body. And certainly I do them regularly, like once a month or so on my dogs. But if they're exposed to something, they'll get more. To give you some idea of how the raindrop technique actually sort of tunes up the body, it's a layering of oils that are dripped onto the spine and then kind of feathered in and massaged into the animal. And they most definitely can produce calming and soothing effects. I've seen dogs that were pretty wild, just like go into a coma for hours after they get it. They just love it. It can reduce all kinds of discomforts in the body, and it supports normal cellular homeostasis, provides sort of an overall tune-up for the body, it balances them, and it helps ground them. Inhalation can be done also with animals. This is a picture of one of my dogs actually smelling a bottle of Peace and Calming right before he got his toenails dremeled. He really did not like being in the grooming tub, and so this helped him a lot. And another dog that really liked Stress Away better. But inhalation can be done via directly sniffing from the bottle. And in this picture, it's a little close for a dog. You might not want to get that close to him, but he was kind of used to it. Or from the caregiver's hands, or you can put a cold diffuser right by the area like your grooming tub. And when you're using any of these methods, just don't force your dog to inhale the vapors. Just offer an open bottle and let them come up to it. Put a couple of drops of the oil that you're picking on the palms of your hands, rub together, offer them outward like a fan to let them sniff at their own pace. And when you're diffusing, just allow them to come and go as they please in the room that you're running the diffuser in. Now this is an actual diffuser running right by my litter of newborn puppies. You can put a drop or two of your favorite essential oil in a couple of ounces of water in a cold water diffuser to eliminate odors without having any kind of toxic synthetic fragrance. They'll also support physical and emotional health, and they raise the frequency of your home. Research has shown that essential oils raise the frequency of biological systems and help to keep us at a frequency more conducive to optimal health and wellness. And there was a dog in this whelping pen who was extremely frantic after she was giving birth. She just couldn't settle down, and she was stepping on her babies. And we diffused Peace and Calming, rotated with purification for air purity, and thieves to keep the babies from succumbing to pathogens. And it made a huge difference in her mood and her balance of her emotions. Some enthusiasts and professionals have found success using oral administration as well. I don't use it a whole lot with animals, but you certainly can research that. You can use vegetable glycerin, vegetable gelatin capsules. You can put a couple of drops into the capsules and administer them orally. Put them in some food or a pill pocket. Oils can be added to those and given by mouth. Just be aware of their sensitivities and generally do this only under the advice of a health professional. The capsules are readily available at a supplement supply store, or you can get them from Young Living. You can also put oils into they call it the buccal cavity. It uses the mucous membranes of the cheek or lip to deliver quick absorption. The animal's bottom lip can be pulled out and drops of the oil can be put in, and the dog or the horse or whatever will feel the effect quickly due to the large number of capillaries in that area. And again, this is a very strong administration. You can also apply to the gums. You can put oils directly onto the gums. It may work very well for some dogs, but try using a dilution of like 1 drop of oil to 5 drops of a carrier oil and mix it on your hand, and then just kind of put a light coating of the dilution onto the gums. And usually 1 to 3 drops of that diluted mixture are sufficient for the gum method. You can also do oral drops. This method is usually reserved for animals that are recovering from a procedure, but they can be tested just as with other methods of administration. Another one is sublingual. You can go under the tongue. Mucosal membranes allow for fast absorption, and this method is often used for animals, again, that are recovering from a procedure. Another way is to let them just sort of lick it off themselves. Never underestimate the fact that essential oils applied to the fur can be licked off, and that allows for oral administration and thus some quicker absorption. The fur is going to wick the oils down into the skin, but they can reach therapeutic levels and be very effective very quickly this way. Oils can also be added to water using what I call the toothpick method. You can stir put the toothpick into the oil and then stir that into the water, and just be sure there's another water source available in the event that the animal prefers not to drink it. The oil will float on the top of the water, so you just want to use a tiny bit. Misting is also it's a perfect form of external application, provided you have a few key tools. because many misting or spray bottles have plastic parts that would come in contact with the essential oils. It's recommended that this method be done with specialized glass spray bottles. While some plastic components in a sprayer may be unavoidable, it's best to go as close to glass as possible. Fill the bottle up with oil or water and add the desired drops of the essential oil, shake it well, and mist the solution either near the animal, near the area of concern on the animal, or right over the top of a current area to layer the oils. And where you've already put oils, you want to layer them and stimulate sort of a deeper absorption. It can also be, interestingly enough, used for applying Young Living Vitality essential oils to foods that you want them to ingest. Just make sure that if it's combined with water that you shake it well before you spray it, because oils and waters don't mix. I love doing therapeutic soak baths, detox baths on our pets, and you can do them monthly, and it helps to keep the toxin buildup that we talked about earlier from bioaccumulation by using this kind of a bath. This recipe was used by a holistic veterinarian from the Young Living Animal Conference, and it's endorsed by Dr. Nancy Brandt, who's a veterinarian, in her Chemical-Free Pet book. And this bath helps move toxins out of the bloodstream quickly and without discomfort. So they can either sit in the tub, or and you can just sort of scoop the recipe over the top of them, or you can wrap a towel around them and ladle the liquid over the top of that, and just to let them air dry. Now this is more of a therapeutic soak technique that I learned at the VMAA. It's the benefits are really numerous, since you can access a large surface area of the skin for rapid relief of all kinds of things, and with repetition it can be very long lasting. The soaking helps to put good chemicals in, and it draws toxins out. The one I showed you previously is more of a detox kind of a bath, and this one uses a Revi mineral soap as the basis, and you put in whatever oil you're choosing. In this case, I'm putting lavender on a kitty, and I'm terrified of kitties, but this kitty was very calm and just calmed right down because she was in a lavender soak. You can do kind of a burrito wrap technique with the kitties and use warm water. And this Revi mineral soap is amazing as it's an emulsifier, so it helps the oil to kind of spread out, and also you don't have to wash it when you're done. They don't need to be rinsed off when they're done. Again, you can just let them towel or air dry. And one of the main reasons that dogs and cats go to the vet is for skin and ear issues. So I'm going to share with you another sort of chemical-free pet recipe that you can make for overall support of your dog's skin and ear health. I keep a bottle of this available at all times for my own dogs. Now, you never want to spray essential oils directly into the eyes or down into the ears, because they can damage the delicate eardrums. Just spray around the ears and outside around the eyes and the temples, and then just kind of rub them in. I know a lot of people who like to feed blueberries to their dogs because of their high levels of antioxidants, and they're valued for their ability to scavenge free radicals and improve overall cellular health. And we consider high levels of antioxidants to be crucial in our daily diet. Dogs have a hard time actually digesting blueberries and fruits. They don't extract a whole lot of nutritional value from them because they are carnivores. But Young Living has developed a drink that is suitable for pets and for people. It was originally developed for people, but a lot of us use them on our pets. It's called Ningxia Red. It has at least 8 times the ability to scavenge free radicals than blueberries, based on a system that was developed by Tufts University called the Oxygen Radical Absorbance Capacity, or ORAC, ORAC scoring system. It has the highest ORAC score of any product yet tested. and it's significantly higher than any other drink or food that's available. It's infused with several life-giving essential oils that enhances various body systems. It makes it a powerhouse for good health that we give to our pets on a daily basis. Now, again, our pets are carnivores, so they're not really designed to eat plant materials, but because we're living in a chemical-free home and there are still always toxins, floating around in the environment, they need this kind of dietary detoxing on a regular basis. They need the antioxidants. And I raise boxers, which are prone to some illnesses that really, really require a lot of antioxidant support. So my dogs get about a quarter ounce of this a day. And then as well, we drink between 2 and 4 ounces daily, depending on our needs. So because we're talking about ways to replace toxic chemicals, harmful chemicals, with more natural products, Young Living offers a multitude of personal care products. It's not just an essential oil company. A lot of these products, most of them are actually infused with life-giving essential oils. They have shampoos and conditioners, lotions, body washes, anti-aging skincare line, non-toxic oral care products, toothpaste without fluoride, mouthwashes. They have a full line of products to support children from birth that's called the Seedlings line, to older kids called Kid Sense line. They offer formulations to support the endocrine system, the thyroid, male and female hormones, as well as a non-toxic Savvy Minerals makeup line. I want to talk about how we do this chemical-free pet lifestyle on a budget, because natural products tend to be a little more expensive than toxic products. But if you're looking to Young Living for some of the alternatives to these products, then just keep in mind that Young Living does not like to ship water. They don't like to ship diluted products. All the products are very highly concentrated. So you're going to find that, a bottle of Thieves Household Cleaner makes about 32 bottles, something like that. Depends on how you dilute it. But all the products are super potent. So they end up, your cleaner costs about $1 for a spray bottle when you get that said and done. So that's one thing to remember. The other thing is that if you have a membership with Young Living, and that means you have purchased a starter kit of some kind, then you get wholesale pricing. So you get 24% off of everything. So then on top of that, there's a loyalty program that's called Essential Rewards. And I really encourage anybody who's, going to a chemical-free pet lifestyle, get on Essential Rewards, because it's a loyalty program that gives you points back for every purchase that you make under that program. And for the first 3 months, you get 10% back, then it jumps up to 20% back, then it jumps up to 25%. So we've been on it a long time, over 2 years, and so we get 25% back. And like this month, I just got a great big box, $350 worth of stuff from Young Living, and I just paid for it with points. It was free. So there's that. There's also monthly promotions. So if you're getting a monthly wellness box of some kind and you get to pick what's in it, it's not that they pick it, then they put extra products into your box for you depending on what you qualify for. So we tend to kind of max that out and try to get all the free products because they put some very important, valuable products in there. It's not stuff that they can't sell. It's all the good stuff. You also get reduced shipping, and you get special pricing on some of the bulk kits. So that's a really, really good way to live green on a budget. And in order for you to get your membership with Young Living, if I'm the one that invited you here or somebody from my team, please make sure that they're your sponsor. If it's somebody else, then get with the person that sent you over to watch this class so that you can get signed up, get your wholesale membership, and get on Essential Rewards and live green on a budget. I call this the ditch and switch for pets sheet, and just to give you some ideas of some of the things that you can do to start living more chemical free for your pets. Certainly, very high on that list is household cleaners. And you can replace a lot of them with Thieves Household Cleaner. It'll clean just about anything: toilets, walls, floors, ovens, vomit, blood, all kinds of stuff. Also candles and air fresheners. You can replace those with a diffuser and just diffuse therapeutic grade essential oils. I got rid of all my candles, all my plug-ins, because those are all toxic. You can get rid of systemic insecticides and deterrents. Young Living has products that are well made for deterring insects. They're based on plants that are really, really good at deterring insects. And they have one formulated for animals called Repel Aroma. You can also use Purification, which is made for humans. There's even an insect repellent. Another one is laundry detergents and dryer sheets. You can use Thieves laundry detergent. You can use dryer balls with essential oils on them instead of the dryer sheets. If you have kitties, I strongly suggest that you not be using the synthetic litters, and that you use a natural litter and just put a little bit of baking soda with Young Living Purification in it and mix that all in, and it'll keep the litter box really nice, and they won't be stepping on synthetic chemicals that are going to harm them. Also the antibacterial soaps that we all tend to have by our sinks. They tend to have triclosans in them, so you can use the Young Living Thieves or Lavender. There's all kinds of foaming hand soaps that are available from Young Living for that. And, this isn't a Young Living suggestion, but definitely look at the water that your animals are drinking, because most of the municipal water is just really not good for our pets. That they're loaded with prescription drugs, and people have flushed down their toilets, and fluoride and chlorine, which are endocrine disruptors. And so I would be using a spring water or purified water with your animals. I want to give you an idea of what kind of our normal routine is with our animals. They always get Ninja Red in their food. They get Life 9 or some kind of probiotic. They get Sulfurzyme every single day. Sulfur is essential for mitochondrial health. And if your mitochondria are not human, they are their own species, and they're the energy producers for our bodies, and dogs have them too. There's 500 to 1,000 in every cell. They require their own diet, and they require sulfur. And honestly, if I had to go to a desert island and I could only take one supplement with me, it'd probably be Sulfurzyme. So that goes in, a capsule of that goes in our dog's food every day. They also get an essential fatty acid added into their raw diet, and I certainly would be doing that. I would be adding more supplements if they were kibble fed, but mine are raw fed, so this is what I use with them. The oils that I use a lot with my animals for, just to help keep their stress down or dealing with new situations, going to the vet. Some of the ones I really love are Stress Away and Peace and Calming. Valor is a big one because it helps with courage. Highest Potential helps with courage. And another one that a lot of people don't know about is called White Angelica. White Angelica is kind of the keep your juju to yourself and I'll keep mine to myself oil. So it helps. Animals are very sensitive to other beings' emotions and situations, and they kind of absorb them. You know how when you get sick, they'll get sick, or they know you're sick, or they know you're sad. And this just kind of helps them, especially if they're in crowded situations at the vet or shows or performance events or whatever. It helps them just sort of keep their energy to themselves. So I like that. And then for our seniors, we use Agilise, we use BLM, which is for bone, ligament, muscle support. Again, Sulfurzyme, and there's a product that's not actually on this list that we are using a lot now called Cardiogize, and it's for cardiac health. And there's a topical that I love for my seniors. You can't see it on this screen, but I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a combination of 3 oils in equal amounts, and they are frankincense, copaiba, and Idaho balsam fir, and they are great for senior discomfort. I rub it on my neck. I keep it in a roller ball. My dog has her own roller ball of it. If Idaho balsam fir is out of stock, you can use cypress instead, but it is the bomb. and it is wonderful, and it's something that we use on a regular basis here. As a steward of my breed and a lover of animals and a natural rearing breeder, this is how I look at things. These babies come into the world without toxins, and it's our job to help keep them that way. And the cleaner the environment we can provide for them, and looking at all the things that I've showed you that are available from Young Living, and certainly you know, kind of ditch and switch things that you can use and ways to do it on a budget, are going to help to keep our animals living more vitally and hopefully longer. And I want to give you a list of a few of the resources that would be really helpful to you if you're looking into living more of a chemical-free pet lifestyle. A number of them are available from Life Science Publishing. I love the Animal Desk reference. It's a wonderful, wonderful reference. It's written by veterinarians to, you know, pet owners, and it's used as a veterinary resource as well. It shows you how to use all of these products in a chemical-free way with your pets. There's also a book called Chemical Free Pet that's written by Dr. Nancy Brandt. She's triple PhD DVM. There's a book called Natural Rearing by Dr. Jeannie Thomason. She's one of my mentors, and she's an animal naturopath. If you do find animal conference training, I would go to that. The American Council of Animal Naturopathy has training. There's the Natural Rearing Dog Breeders Association, and there's vitalanimal.com. The places you can go to find more information about what products are in your home that might be harming your pets are the Environmental Working Group, that's ewg.org, and there's an app for iPhones and Androids that's called Think Dirty. You can actually scan the barcodes of something you're thinking about buying, and you can find out how they're rated. So good luck with chemical-free pet living, and thank you for attending this course.